do you have a pre-show ritual that you do before you get on stage?
I have taken a dump before a few, and that's mostly just because of nerves. Like a lot of times, if it's a big show, like if it's a big show at maybe a Caroline's or something like that, where I know there's important people at the show, that either that drives me crazy and my nerves go crazy, and that makes my body go crazy, and my respiratory system is just like, I feel like we need to take a shit before we do this. But most of the time, I try to not talk a lot. I try to not talk a lot. I try to just stay calm. I try to stay seated because just the things that I've read about dealing with performance anxiety show that these things help. And you need to be, I think, in order to help suppress performance anxiety, I think you need to be in a position where you could literally fall asleep.
Okay.
You know, like if you're laying on a couch, you know, sitting in a dim room, or just relaxing. Just make sure you're not doing much, just relaxing, and doing so while not thinking about much, not thinking about performing, because, you know, you're as prepared as you're going to be. So, I also try to, while I'm doing these things, I try to watch dumb shit on my phone.
Okay.
And this is something that I also read that helps with performance anxiety, which is funny that I read that. And it's also something that I got from my buddy Shane Gillis. You know, Shane used to always do it before he got on stage. And I used to look at him like, why are you watching videos of teenagers knocking people out randomly, or watching videos of animals, you know, getting hit by cars or running into dumb shit. And he's like, you know, watching stupid shit, you know, helps ease your mind. And, you know, it really does cool performance anxiety. And so those are the things I do.
Cool.
I used to always have a beer, and I always would smoke a cigarette, but I don't do either of those anymore. I quit smoking too. So
nice, dude.
I've always had coffee for the ride over. So I'll keep having that coffee, I guess, and see what else, you know, I get into. But yeah, I mean, pre-show rituals, I just go over my stuff one more time, take one last look at the set before I go up, and try to hit everything, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Focus.
You have any pre-show rituals? Anything you do to get yourself
Take a
amped up?
dump.
What?
Take a dump. I'm very prolific at taking a shit at like whatever venue I'm at. It's not
good thing to
a
know
choice.
that.
It's the last thing I want to do, but it gets like the tummy gets rumbling.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, no, I usually skip dinner because I've got my Jewish stomach that gets a little bit like testy beforehand. And that's it. I'm not a great pre-show hang. Like I get a little bit,
either.
especially.
I'm not at any show hang. I'm like wallpaper at shows. I just kind of blend into the background so I can.
But you're fun after your set. I feel like we're the same.
If I had a good set, because I'll start drinking, and that's when I'm fun. I'm not fun when I'm not drinking, so that's.
That's probably the same for me.
When I was first starting, for the first couple of years, I was so nervous. I would get a bunch of paper towels and put them in my armpits, and then I would get athletic tape, tape them over my shoulders to make sure they stayed in place. And then I would bring extra shirts so I wouldn't sweat through everything. And that was my pre-show ritual. And I would pace the perimeter. I'd pace the perimeter whatever club I was working. I would walk outside and pace the perimeter.
And that's all?
Yeah.
The nerves have gone away? So you just hang out now? Okay.
And now it's basically just show up at the club, look over a couple of joke topics before I go on, and then just go on stage.
Okay.
I go over in my head the order of which Because unlike Missy will on stage not know what she's going to do, like what order, what I'm talking about, she just goes. I'm much more structured. So in my head, I know my key points that I want to do. I'll go over the order of which I want to do.
Okay.
And I'll tell Missy, and then I'll have her quiz me.
Okay.
Right to the show.
He'll be like, okay, Delaware, marriage, divorce, you know,
Yeah.
I'll be like, you left one out. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I never drink before I go on stage.
Okay.
Ever. Like because I'm just, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like even if I have a beer or two, because I'm a little bit of a lightweight, I feel myself, I don't do that well. Like I'm sloppy. I'm just in my head a little bit more. So I never drink. I just look over my set list. I pee like 5 times because I get like the bladder of a toddler, and like I always have to like, I always end up, and then like sometimes I'll just kind of breathe or just kind of like shake it off. And I do like to watch. I really like to watch shows before I'm on. So like I like to watch the opener or whoever's before me. I really sit and watch, and I kind of watch the crowd.
Okay.
And, just to see what the vibe of the night is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck with you. Not really. No, I mean, there's times where like, we've done shows together where like, you've seen me like off to the side and you're like, dude, you're super focused. What's going on in your world? And then there's other times where like, we have fun. I just feel like all that again kind of ties in with like the play. It's like I try to figure out. I kind of like rehearse like the bits in my head before, not the actual bit. Like I'll rehearse like testicle Bluetooth. Right after that, I'm gonna jump to boom, mommy got your nose. Not that I would do it this kind of order. Mommy got your nose.
Yeah.
And then so like I'm throwing the titles of the jokes out, like and then I might go, here's the new one, and then I'll rehearse that. But I think the main thing for me is like it's not really a ritual, but the minute like as my name's getting introduced, like I learned this from Chris Kosha, which is like when you're being introduced, you hear your name. You just start kind of like, yeah, let's do this. Like, let's, like if you're getting amped up as they're getting amped up, like you're in it together. And like the minute like that happens, it's like, I just put aside everything else that's going on. It's like, I'm playing a character now. Like, even though it's me and the character's me, all the other aspects of me are fucking gone for 15 minutes.
So there could be personal shit in your life that you have to deal with. You have the ability to push it to the side and go do your jokes.
Over. I am this part of me and only this part of me for 15 minutes. Which is mixed feelings sometimes.
Okay.